Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to take a dedicated look at Dior's new spring Quint. This is Pink Sakura. It's gorgeous. It's what I have on my eyes. We'll be getting into the demo after some swatches. Also on my lips, and this was released as part of their spring collection and basically a relaunch, reformulation of Dior's lipstick. This shade is also called Pink Sakura. I will share my thoughts at the end on whether I think the lipstick is a good match with the eyeshadow. So why don't we go ahead and do some swatches. So these are the shades on my fingers. This one here right in the center is the shade, and it is the most powdery. So I think you're supposed to, or you're meant to use that sparingly. It does remind me of Pat McGrath's Iridescent Pink 003 from her bronze palette, so we might take that out and do some comparisons. But all of the other shades are very smooth. They look very smooth on my fingers, and I bet they're gonna swatch really nice too. So we have first that kind of chalky, powdery white shade that has like a pink shimmer to it. Yeah, that one's hard to get a good swatch of. I feel like it swatches away. And then we have the light lavender purple. That's like a satin finish, followed by the mauve metallic. And then we have the deep plum shade. That is a satin matte. And then we have the center shade here, which is like a pinky purple. It's a really pretty color story. These don't swatch as well as I thought they were going to. Obviously I already put the colors on my lids and they were easy to work with. Like that deep purple, there's so much left on my finger, but once you have it on your lid, it's actually easy to spread. So it's a little bit misleading, but sometimes shadows don't swatch as well as how they perform on your lids. So ultimately you want it to perform on your lids, and I'll tell you up front, it's not a problem with that shade. But I think this is a really, really beautiful color story, and it's just so complimentary. Like if you're into purples, mauves, you know, pinky-ish tones, I think you will enjoy this Quint. I think they did a great job. I have 3 other Dior Quints. I have one in denim, which I'll show really quickly here. This is denim, and this is Pink Sakura. Now that I have a couple of these quads, I feel like Dior, they're really not afraid of putting different finishes together to create, you know, the ultimate look they want you to experience with the Quint. There are satin mattes, there are light metallics, deep metallics, and then the really deep mattes. Then you have this more of a inner corner highlight, a very glittery or a lid topper type of shade, rather than something you pack on and then blend out. Yeah, I really appreciate that. And just when I think with their holiday collection, I couldn't like their Quints even more, they managed to do that with this one. Well, let me take out really quickly Pat McGrath's palette to compare that one shade. So I misspoke earlier when I said that shade I want to compare is on Bronze Seduction's palette. No, pull it together, Michi. That shade is from the Divine Rose palette, Divine Rose 1. And it is called Iridescent Pink 003. I got the name correct. So let's swatch it against the Dior shade. And they look really similar actually on the finger. So this is from Pat McGrath and this is from Dior. They both have that pink undertone or pink shift to it. The one from Pat McGrath is more obvious. I'll just swatch it on top of the one from Dior. Yeah, it's a little bit more obvious. You know, both are powdery, but the Pat McGrath one will be easier to work with if you decide to, you know, add lots of it onto the lid, or if you wanted to build on it. It's not going to blend away like this one. Let's head on to the demo. I'll see you guys at the end. I'm taking the deepest shade here and we're adding that onto the lower part of the lids. And we're going to diffuse that shade out. Then I'm taking this mauve shade here and I'm placing that just above the deeper shade we applied and diffused. The shade is so pretty because it's like a soft satin shade. It just has like a little bit of shimmer to it. When you're like moving around, it catches light. It's so pretty. And taking a different brush, we're going to diffuse that mauve shade upwards towards the crease. Then we're just going to add a little bit of this really light lavender purple. And we're adding that onto the crease. It's so light, you can barely see it. It just adds like a little bit more shimmer. And this shade you can use as a base color too before you lay on the other shades from the Quint. And now I like to go back into the center shade here. I'm gonna add it as kind of like an eyeliner on the upper lash line. Because I had this really deep plum shade, you can't really see this lighter purple, but it does add a little bit more dimension to the look, and I don't mind that. I think it's still pretty, and we're going to diffuse that deeper shade upwards a little bit more. And then I'm going to use this as an inner corner highlight. If not for the demonstration, I would probably leave this as is. I like this look. I would just add some mascara and blush to go with it and sort of be done. But for demo, we're gonna try out every shade. For under the eyes, I will use the center shade once again. Not really as a tight line, but just adding a little bit here on the outer corners. For blush, I'm going to go into Viseart's Midsummer palette. We're going to use the namesake shade Midsummer. And for those of you guys who have been following this channel, you've seen me go into this palette quite a few times to use these shades here as blush. I think it goes really well with the looks. I think Midsummer is pretty, but I want to deepen it just a little bit. So we're gonna go into Puck, and I'm just adding a little bit of that because it's more of a mauve, and I just want to deepen that a bit. For highlight, I'm going to use Flower Beauty's Pyramids. This is Peach Glow. I'm going to focus on the shades around here, just because it's purpley, a bit of pink. I think it'll be pretty flattering. For lips, I'm going to use Dior's lipstick. This is in the shade Pink Sakura, and it's actually the same name as the Quint. Looking at it like this, I wouldn't think it's, like immediately I wouldn't see it as a match, but we'll see. If it doesn't work or it's too mismatched, we can do something else. And this lipstick is in a satin finish. This is the finished look. What do you guys think? I think in order for the Quint and lipstick of the same name to really be like a pair, I think the lipstick needs a little bit more of a plum tone to it than this pink. I really like the lipstick standalone. I think it's such an easygoing pink that's going to be flattering for a lot of people. But when you pair it with the Quint, I wouldn't say that they're like the perfect match. But I think this still looks nice. This is a look I would wear out. If I was not, interested in testing how it would match the lipstick with the Quint, I would probably go with a nuder pink or a deep plum shade. So it's kind of all or nothing. Either you pick a color that highlights and accentuates the eyes, or you pick something that's really more dramatic and deep to complement the look. So let me know what you guys think of the lip color match with the eyeshadow. I know that just because the shade names of the two are the same, it doesn't mean they have to be a match, but I was just under the assumption that somehow they would be. Not that I think it's a bad match or a total mismatch. It just wouldn't be my go-to shade for this look personally. I do think the headband that's kind of purpley and pink does pull it together. And of course, this is a fairly, neutral color top. You can have any makeup look and it would go well. So yeah, I really like the Quint. This is probably now my new favorite Dior Quint. These mauves and purples and the lavender shade, they're all beautiful. And this is a palette where if you wanted to use all 5 shades, you could still get a distinctive look. I talked about this extensively on the denim quad. And with the denim quad, how there are deeper shades, a lot of blue-green, they kind of get muddled when you mix them all together. I don't think this is the case with this Quint here. And as long as you're conscious about the placement, I think you're going to get a really nice look, whether you use 3 shades, 4 shades, or all 5 at the same time. So thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Consider subscribing to the channel, ring the bell to get notified every time new content is released, and give this video a thumbs up. See you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.